Your legs are the first to show signs of weakness because they carry the heaviest burden of movement, endurance, and balance in the body. Long before fatigue is visible elsewhere, or before mobility feels limited, the legs quietly signal that they need support. Every step, every lift, every small motion is a conversation between muscles, nerves, and bones, and the foods you eat are the messages your body listens to. By choosing the right nourishment, you can strengthen them naturally, restore resilience, and make each movement feel lighter. Protein-rich foods like eggs and lentils sit at the very beginning of leg strength because muscle is not something the body simply maintains on its own. Every step, every rise from a chair, every moment of standing creates microscopic stress within the muscle fibers of the legs. This stress is natural and necessary, but it also means that leg muscles are in a constant state of breakdown and renewal. The body rebuilds these fibers using amino acids, the small units derived from dietary protein, and when these building blocks are consistently available, the muscles respond by becoming stronger, more resilient, and more efficient. When they are not, the body adapts in the opposite direction, allowing muscle tissue to thin and weaken over time without any sudden warning. The legs are especially vulnerable to this process because they contain the largest muscle groups in the human body. Supporting body weight, stabilizing joints, and enabling movement require an enormous amount of daily repair. If protein intake is even slightly insufficient, the body begins to conserve resources, prioritizing vital organs and essential biochemical processes over muscle maintenance. This conservation does not announce itself dramatically. Instead, the legs lose tone first, endurance fades, and movements that once felt effortless begin to require conscious effort. What many people interpret as aging is often the quiet outcome of prolonged undernourishment at the cellular level. Eggs and lentils offer a unique advantage because they provide a complete and steady supply of amino acids in forms the body recognizes and efficiently uses. These amino acids do more than rebuild tissue, they signal muscle cells to activate repair mechanisms and maintain structural integrity. Without these signals, muscle fibers become less responsive to exercise, meaning that even regular movement cannot fully protect against gradual loss. Over time, the connection between effort and strength weakens, leaving the legs feeling tired despite activity. Protein also supports the connective tissues that anchor muscles to bones and stabilize joints. When protein intake is adequate, tendons remain strong, joints feel supported, and movement stays fluid. When it is lacking, the body sacrifices these structures to meet more urgent needs, increasing the risk of weakness and imbalance. This is why leg strength depends not only on visible muscle but on the unseen scaffolding that holds movement together. Consistently nourishing the body with protein-rich foods restores trust between effort and outcome. The legs respond by adapting to movement rather than retreating from it, rebuilding what is used instead of slowly surrendering it. Strength returns not as bulk or force, but as quiet reliability, where the legs feel capable of carrying the body through daily life without hesitation or fatigue, reminding us that nourishment is not an addition to strength, but its most fundamental requirement. Leafy greens play a quiet but essential role in restoring strength to the legs because movement depends as much on internal chemistry as it does on muscle size. Spinach, kale, and similar greens deliver magnesium and iron in forms the body can use to support both muscle function and oxygen transport. When these nutrients are sufficient, muscle fibers receive a steady flow of oxygen and energy, allowing them to contract and relax with ease. When they are lacking, the legs often feel heavy, slow, or unresponsive, not because the muscles are weak, but because the fuel and signaling systems that support them are undernourished. Iron supports the production of hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen through the bloodstream. The legs, positioned farthest from the heart and constantly working against gravity, rely heavily on efficient oxygen delivery. Even a mild shortage can reduce endurance and create a deep, dull fatigue that lingers despite rest. This fatigue often settles into the legs first, making stairs feel steeper and walking feel more demanding than it should. The body adapts by reducing output, conserving energy where possible, and the legs once again become the first place where this conservation is felt. Magnesium works alongside iron by regulating how muscles and nerves communicate. It allows muscles to relax fully after contraction and prevents excessive tension that drains energy. Without enough magnesium, muscles remain partially contracted, increasing stiffness and reducing range of motion. The legs may feel tight or restless, particularly after long periods of sitting or at the end of the day. This tension is not a sign of overuse but of imbalance, where the body struggles to release what it activates. Leafy greens address both issues simultaneously, feeding oxygen delivery and neuromuscular balance in a single, natural package. Their nutrients support circulation, reduce unnecessary muscle tension, and improve efficiency with each movement. Over time, the legs begin to feel lighter not because they are being pushed harder, but because they are wasting less energy. Movement becomes smoother, balance improves, and fatigue recedes into the background rather than dominating the experience of motion. This kind of strength is subtle yet transformative. It does not announce itself through visible muscle or dramatic power but through ease. Walking feels natural again, posture improves without effort, and the legs regain their role as reliable supports rather than constant reminders of limitation. By nourishing the body with leafy greens, strength is restored at the level of chemistry and communication, where true endurance begins and confidence in movement quietly grows. Bananas and other potassium-rich foods are vital for leg strength because potassium is central to how muscles contract and relax, and without it, every step can feel heavier and more effortful. Potassium works in tandem with sodium to maintain the balance of electrical charges inside and outside muscle cells, a balance that allows nerve signals to trigger precise, coordinated contractions. When potassium is insufficient, these electrical signals become less efficient, causing muscles to twitch, spasm, or tire quickly. The legs, which handle the largest workload of the body and must respond constantly to gravity, are the first to reflect this imbalance. What begins as a subtle sense of heaviness or restlessness can gradually escalate into difficulty climbing stairs, standing for long periods, or maintaining stability during routine movements. The importance of potassium is not limited to muscle contraction, it also affects the flow of fluids in and out of cells, which in turn influences hydration, nutrient transport, and waste removal. Well-hydrated and properly nourished muscle cells are more resilient to fatigue and recover faster after exertion, while potassium deficiency can make each movement feel disproportionately strenuous. Even moderate depletion interrupts the rhythm of contraction and relaxation, creating tension and microfatigue that accumulate over time. This is why athletes and active individuals notice performance dips before they see any visible muscle loss. The muscles themselves are intact, but the signaling and cellular environment necessary for smooth operation are compromised. Potassium-rich foods like bananas, avocados, and sweet potatoes deliver not only the mineral itself but also supporting nutrients such as magnesium and complex carbohydrates, which enhance energy availability and improve overall muscle responsiveness. Regular intake helps maintain a steady internal environment, ensuring that each contraction is both effective and efficient. Over time, this consistency strengthens the feedback loop between the nervous system and the muscles, allowing movements to feel lighter, faster, and more controlled. Fatigue diminishes not because the muscles have changed visibly, but because the internal machinery supporting them is operating at peak efficiency. Beyond the immediate effects on contraction, potassium also plays a subtle role in cardiovascular support. Proper potassium levels help maintain healthy blood pressure and promote smooth circulation, which is essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients to the working muscles of the legs. Efficient blood flow reduces localized strain and supports endurance, allowing the legs to sustain activity without early onset of heaviness or cramping. This makes every step easier, every lift lighter, and every period of standing or walking more comfortable, turning daily movement into a more fluid, effortless experience. Incorporating potassium-rich foods into the diet consistently restores balance at the cellular level, improving communication between nerves and muscles and supporting the muscle's ability to perform reliably under stress. The legs begin to feel coordinated and responsive rather than sluggish or unstable, allowing the body to move with confidence. It is through this continuous, quiet nourishment that the legs regain their natural strength, responding to intention with precision, supporting posture. Fatty fish and nuts are essential for leg strength because they provide healthy fats that nourish the deepest layers of muscle and joint tissue, supporting energy production and reducing inflammation that can quietly slow movement. These foods are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which integrate into cell membranes and improve their flexibility, allowing muscle fibers to respond more efficiently to nerve signals. Healthy fats also play a crucial role in maintaining mitochondrial function, the energy-producing centers of every cell, ensuring that muscles have a consistent supply of ATP, the fuel required for contraction and endurance. Without this support, even well-trained muscles fatigue quickly, and the legs begin to feel heavy, stiff, or uncoordinated. Inflammation is a silent opponent of leg strength. Over time, low-grade, chronic inflammation can stiffen joints and limit the smooth motion of muscles, especially around the knees, hips, and ankles. Fatty acids from fish and nuts help regulate inflammatory pathways, reducing swelling and irritation at the cellular level. This calming effect allows tendons, ligaments, and muscles to move freely without excessive tension, minimizing energy waste and creating a more efficient system for walking, standing, or climbing stairs. Legs that feel stiff or sore from unnoticed inflammation are often simply signaling a need for these essential fats. The protective properties of these fats extend beyond muscles and joints into connective tissue and neural pathways. Fatty acids help maintain the insulation around nerves, ensuring that electrical signals travel quickly and accurately from the brain to the muscles. When signaling is clear, movements are precise and coordinated, preventing unnecessary strain or energy loss. Nuts and fish also support cardiovascular health, promoting healthy blood flow that delivers oxygen and nutrients efficiently to the lower limbs. This combination of structural, energetic, and circulatory support allows the legs to move with confidence and resilience rather than dragging under strain. Regular intake of fatty fish and nuts also improves recovery and endurance. Muscle fibers that experience repeated contraction and stress require energy and protection to repair efficiently. The anti-inflammatory and cellular benefits of these fats reduce post-activity soreness and accelerate the repair process, ensuring that the legs remain capable of sustaining activity over time. This contributes to both short-term performance and long-term preservation of mobility, making movement feel lighter and more controlled. Incorporating these foods consistently strengthens the legs at multiple levels. Muscles contract more efficiently, joints move freely, energy production is optimized, and signaling between the nervous system and muscles is enhanced. The cumulative effect is that the legs regain their natural rhythm and responsiveness, allowing the body to perform daily activities with stability, balance, and fluidity. Fatty fish and nuts do not produce immediate, dramatic changes, but their influence is profound, nourishing the deep systems that underpin sustained leg strength, smooth motion, and long-term mobility. Calcium-rich foods like yogurt, seeds, and fortified plant-based options are essential for strengthening the legs because muscles do not function in isolation. They rely on a firm and resilient skeletal foundation to move effectively. Every contraction of the leg muscles transmits force to the bones through tendons, and the bones respond by maintaining their density and strength in proportion to the load placed upon them. Calcium is the primary mineral that gives bones this strength, providing the structural integrity necessary for muscles to work efficiently. Without sufficient calcium, the connection between muscles and bones becomes fragile, and even strong muscles cannot move the body as effectively, resulting in instability, fatigue, or a sense of heaviness in the legs. The legs carry the entire weight of the body in nearly every action, from walking and running to standing and balancing. This constant load requires not only strong muscles but also robust bones that can absorb impact without injury. Calcium-rich foods ensure that the skeletal system remains dense and responsive, preventing the gradual weakening that can occur with age or nutritional deficiency. Over time, inadequate calcium intake can lead to microfractures or brittle bones, forcing the muscles to compensate and increasing the risk of fatigue, poor posture, and falls. By nourishing the bones directly, calcium provides the legs with the confidence to carry weight efficiently and safely. Beyond structural support, calcium also plays a vital role in muscle contraction itself. Calcium ions are released within muscle fibers to trigger contraction, and without an adequate supply, the muscles cannot contract with full efficiency. This means that even if a person consumes enough protein and maintains healthy energy levels, a calcium deficiency can still leave the legs feeling weak or uncoordinated. Yogurt, seeds, and other calcium-rich foods replenish these reserves, allowing muscles to respond fully to nerve signals and maintain smooth, controlled motion. Calcium works synergistically with other nutrients, such as vitamin D and magnesium, to optimize bone and muscle function. While calcium forms the structural framework, vitamin D enhances absorption, and magnesium ensures proper muscle relaxation after contraction. Together, these nutrients create a balanced system in which muscles, bones, and connective tissues function in harmony. When this balance is achieved through consistent intake of calcium-rich foods, the legs become more stable, responsive, and capable of sustained movement, reducing the risk of strain or injury. Incorporating calcium-rich foods into the diet not only strengthens the legs in the present but also protects long-term mobility and independence. Strong bones act as anchors for powerful, coordinated muscles, enabling the legs to carry the body effortlessly through daily activity. Over time, this nourishment allows the legs to remain reliable, resilient, and